Anybody who follows Brainbox knows that we always do things differently. Today, we are doing it, as you can see, in a very different setting than we usually do. And with me, I have a very special guest, Mr. Devang Vora, who's the board member of SSRDP, amongst others. So very warm welcome to the show, Devang.
Thank you.
SSRDP, of course, is the art of living, as is more popularly known. The largest volunteer association, I believe, globally.
Yes.
What were you doing before and how you ventured into the SSRDP Foundation?
Yeah. So I did my computer engineering from Bombay, and when I was in my first year, first year generally you have a lot of challenges. If anybody has done engineering,
Correct.
they will know that always the first year is the most difficult one. So at that time, somebody told me to do this program, very good friend of mine, Art of Living meditation program. And the carrot or the incentive he gave me was that if you do this course, then you have to study less to get the same mark. So that is how I got associated with Art of Living program.
Okay.
And also I was interested in yoga very much. But when I experienced the impact of meditation on my life, I realized that this is much more advanced technology than computer itself. And that is when I decided to dedicate my life for the mission of Art of Living. From there, my journey started by organizing a lot of youth programs. So thousands and thousands of youth we inducted into meditation and yoga over the period of last 20-25 years of journey. And then slowly I became the facilitator teaching meditation and yoga. And then I was blessed enough to be part of Gurudev's office. And now since Art of Living is in 180 countries,
Wow.
so staying in our international center, I became more of a global citizen. Because interacting with people coming from 180 countries, the culture is different, the way they interact is different. It's a very interesting exposure that the organization gave me. In between, there was a phase when I was leading construction across India for the ashram. And all these are basically voluntary things. Mostly what happens when you become good at something in the world, then you go deeper into it and you become comfortable with it. In our organization, once you become good at it, you move on. So you learn more skills, there is no to anything. And then in last 2 years, I have been looking after the rural development and sustainability, mainly. SSRDP is nothing but Shri Rural Development Program. So in this, we are basically having one flagship program called EcoKranti, and then one more that we are starting for entrepreneurs from rural India and also tier 3, tier 4 towns, where the ecosystem exists, but they are not kind of able to leverage the ecosystem. So that is the reason that we want to bridge that gap and see more and more entrepreneurs coming from rural India. And now, if that happens, then in real sense, we'll have Viksit Bharat. So the more rural India grows, more India will really grow. And then when we are talking about 5 trillion economy or a 20 trillion economy, the participation of rural India has to be immense.
Great. So I found quite a few points there that we'll dig
Yes.
deeper into during the conversation. But let's start with EcoKranti itself.
Yeah.
So I can see you're already in the eco colors. So tell us a little more. I know you have a very, very deep vision
Yeah.
towards this. So what is it all about?
It really started with one thing where somebody came and told that there is a way we can replace single-use plastic. So it was just an idea at that point of time. And slowly, once we started doing little more deep research on single-use plastic, we figured out that it is such a big asura or a demon of today's world, which is silent and which is unseen. And it has been part of everybody's day-to-day life. So now we wanted to see that how we can really help to eliminate this single-use plastic. Not just for the planet, that was one of the main important things, but also for the health of the people. We started with replacing garbage bags. So why garbage bags? Being an engineering student, you go deeper into why, and then your analytical brains are fired very quickly.
Correct.
7-8 years back, there was one very nice, very, very beautiful program that had started in mostly into tier 1 and metro cities, which was segregation of waste. So the wet waste that comes out of the house, that basically can get decomposed in 1 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
But the dry waste can even take 1,000 years. So when you segregate the waste, it becomes much easier for the waste management or basically waste elimination also. And the dry waste has a different utility, so that segregation at the source becomes the best way to basically handle those areas. But while executing this beautiful process, what people started doing is to collect the wet waste, they started using plastic, single-use plastic garbage bags.
Yes.
Now, this is a paradox. To implement a very, very, very good cause, the execution got a bug, which was a single-use plastic. And that basically translates into 8 to 12 kgs of single-use plastic every year.
Wow.
And that was very, very jarring for us. So then we thought, let's start with garbage bag. So then EcoKranti got born, and then we had one philosophy for as a people's philosophy. What we say is small steps, big impact. See, generally in this mission or in this revolution, whenever I meet people and talk, so people say that I know what you're saying. I want to participate, but I don't have time.
Correct.
Or how can I do it? So we say that it is as simple as changing your garbage bag.
Right.
Or it is as simple as changing your tissue papers. So step one, and then once you basically get on this journey, it is such an auto process that you start looking for ways to contribute back to the planet. But you need to start. Yeah. So then once we started, then basically we went on to developing some more product ecosystems, which basically in current form are eco-toxic and basically are using a lot of single-use plastic, making it as convenient as the current products, but which are 1,000 times less toxic or zero toxic from the current products. So we took a lot of care of the convenience and the functionality of the product. Why convenience and functionality? Because we didn't wanted the sustainable alternatives to be less functional or less convenient. We wanted either to be the functionality and the convenience to be same or little more than what the current product is offering. We felt that it is not a soft movement that is required. We need a very, very hard, focused effort, not just effort, but a collaborative effort to get this demon out of our ecosystem. And that is why we called it Kranti, the revolution. So eco-revolution represents where we say is that the single-use plastic, we replace it by sustainable alternatives and completely eliminating single-use plastic from our day-to-day life.
Fantastic. A very huge aspect which probably people miss is a greenwash that is going on. Basically, that everyone now claims to be very eco-friendly, but they're not.
Yes.
So the advantage of coming in with an SSRDP kind of a foundation, actually backing it, is that the people also know that this is a reliable brand that is backing and this is actually eco-friendly.
Everything is made in Bharat. And as you said, that one thing that we want to do is create a platform for all the authentic eco-friendly suppliers along the journey, so that we can help them build their brand, or we can help them basically create a network. We want to create a platform. So we are not into product manufacturing because we don't want to get into it. Our full focus is on elimination of plastic. And on the journey, what we are doing is we are creating a lot of partners. So like, for example, right now what we have done is we have one partner who used to manufacture plastic, now does not manufacture plastic. So we have converted them from plastic manufacturers to compostable manufacturers.
Wow.
So that is what we want to do. So that is where we create a lot of collaborations, partnerships. And in this day and age, we firmly believe that together we are stronger. So in the Kali Yuga, Sanghe Shakti is the biggest Shakti. Yeah. So that is why what we look at is collaboration at all levels. So at the societal level, at basically research level, at basically manufacturing level, or at any other levels. So we are looking for more and more collaborations as our foundation to basically make sure that this demon or this asura called single-use plastic is eliminated from our day-to-day life.
Fantastic. What are the philosophies that is the core behind EcoKaranti?
Yeah. So, Kaushik, what happens is that we have kept it very simple. Our thing is that sustainability has to be simple and sustainability has to be accessible to everyone. The sustainability slowly becomes the default choice. So, for that, we have very simple philosophies, two philosophies. One is for people philosophy that we have already spoken about. That is basically small steps, big impacts. So, basically, you start small and you start now. And then basically you move on the journey.
So when you were building EcoKranti with the mission and vision, so what are the guiding philosophies that you'll be having with behind it?
Yeah. So one thing we really felt is that one of the reason why this asura or demon of single-use plastic became very, very prominent is because of its functionality. What we decided is that we have to create alternatives to get them out. And the alternatives have to be as functional as the toxic product that we want to eliminate, or even better than the toxic product in terms of functionality, and also easily accessible in the sense that today, because of Amazon or where we are very much present, it becomes easier. In 24 hours, you can basically get the product. So the accessibility, we want to keep it very simple, very easy. On the people front, there is one simple philosophy is small steps, big impact. So you don't want to basically say that, okay, after 10 years, I'll do this. No, 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 no. You can become basically the friend of the planet or basically the eco warrior right now just by changing your garbage bag or just by changing tissue papers from conventional tissue papers, which has basically a tree has been cut or forest has been harmed. They are bleached, which are kind of carcinogenic, which you use on your body, that is on the skin, which is the biggest organ of your body. Rather than that, what we can do is we can switch to bagasse or bamboo tissues, which are non-bleached again. And at the same time, you are not cutting the tree or harming the forest to make the tissues. So there are all simple choices, very, very simple to basically switch and very, very easily available. Small steps, simple steps, but there's a big impact. This is our people's philosophy. And product philosophy is again very simple, is all our products. The philosophy is very simple, from soil back to soil. So we use everything that is used is in natural form. So like today, as we see, as a plastic decomposes in the soil, what happens? Basically, it leaves microplastic in the soil. Though that microplastic comes back in the food chain. That food we eat with microplastic, neither you can detect it, nor you can see it, nor it is loud that I'm inside. So it is basically not seen to you, and you get basically the microplastic in your body. Similarly, in the air, you breathe the air. If somebody else is burning the plastic in the air will contain a lot of microplastic, and you basically consume that air. Similarly, with the water, the plastic bottles that we drink water. Now, not just the microplastic, but there are nanoplastics which are found in the bottle. So one bottle you drink, somewhere around 250,000 nanoplastics you are consuming. So these are the kind of very, very striking data that is available today. But since it is convenient, we are saying that chalo yaar chalta hai, theek hai yaar, kar lenge. It is not, and it is slow poison. So by just drinking one bottle, you don't realize the impact. Another thing that I would really like to point out here is, if you see, Kaushik, 25 years back when I was doing my engineering, as I remember correctly, there was only one hospital for the whole of India for cancer.
Correct.
That was Tata Memorial Cancer Hospital in Bombay.
Yes.
And also, if you see our family circle, or basically if you see heard of any cancer patient, it would be 1 in million. Like the whole family circle, the first influence, the second influence, the third influence, in that maybe you may find 1%. Today, in the immediate first circle only, you have somebody who has cancer. That time, 25 years back, the cancer used to be very rarely to young people. It used to be somebody who is 50 and above. Today, there is no age. 15-year-old also has a cancer, and 70-year-old also has a cancer. In a week, we are consuming almost a credit card size of microplastic through air, water, and soil. So that is one of the biggest cause for increase in this chronic diseases or autoimmune diseases or basically fertility related issues. So this demon or this asura called single use plastic in this 25 years has contributed so much to the health of the people and health of the planet in this adverse way. So that is the reason that we call ourselves EcoKranti, the revolution. So we need a revolution, not like a small, a movement or a mission, but it needs to be working like, a revolution.
Fantastic. Because I actually, on this note, I remember when this regulation came in, I was in Delhi that time, and it came in that you cannot be using plastics and it was banned. And people, I used to see so many aunties and all of them, they would go and say, "Arey, koi nahi, ek plus thela to de do, how does it matter?"
No, that's what. So what we are saying is, Kaushik is very right. So what happens is, if we tell them to stop single-use plastic or any eco-toxic product without giving them an alternative, which is as functional as the currently used eco-toxic product, then there is always going to be excuse. Mostly the people will choose convenience over right. So what we are doing is we are making sustainability convenient.
Amazing. Amazing.
So our responsibility as an organization, if there are no alternatives, to create alternatives, and if there are alternatives, to basically promote them and give them that stage so that people can easily access and people know about those alternatives. So that is what we have to do.
Let's talk about the SSRDP Foundation itself giving such a huge backing. So how important as a differentiator also do you feel that this is?
See, one thing that Shishi Rural Development Program, so most of us who are working on this Kranti or EcoKranti are volunteers. So our soul and soul focus is our purpose. And when the intent is very clear, I think the ways and the means to reach the intent or the resources to reach the intent will follow. So what we keep is that the authenticity of our intent and trust of the people that we collaborate. So these are our foundations. We are completely authentically true to our purpose and to our intent, which is the one and the same.
Fantastic. So you've, I think, been going strong for about a year now?
Yeah. So we started maybe 1.5 years back. First 6 months were more of discovery, exploration phase, where we did a lot of research, where we did a lot of what's happening in the market, studying that. And then we started something, and then 12 months to 14 months, we have been basically slowly walking this path.
You're going into the rural entrepreneurship to empower them as well.
Yes, because see, what happens is that the matrices for a successful, say, startup, sometimes it's not holistic. For example, if we are saying rural startup, so what we are doing is a lot of, because of our on-ground presence, like Shishi Rural Development Program or Art of Living would be present in more than 100,000 villages. So that kind of reach is available with us. What we see is that people have lot more grit, lot more hunger when we go to the rural setup. They can work longer. They are much more stronger mentally. So all that is there. But what happens is because they don't know English or they don't have that kind of exposure, there is also a lot of inferiority complex that is there. So what we are saying is that whatever it is in this situation, we can basically support you. We can be that catalyst. Catalyst has a very good definition. So when you learn chemistry, you understand catalyst is something which do not get involved in the equation. Because of its presence, the equation becomes more efficient and more better.
Correct.
Also at the rural level, it is not about earning in millions. If one person earns, say, 15,000 rupees more, then we are doubling the household income.
Correct.
So we want to create a space or an ecosystem where we can see, say in next 2 years, maybe we have 500 rural startups which are working in the rural and the sustainability space. And we create a pool of ecosystem. So they get best of the services. And as a startup founder also, we have realized that it's not easy to find lot of things that you need to make your startup successful, because there also there are too many choices, and to find the good one is very, very difficult. So we want to make it very easy for them to success. And their success is our success. Our measurement is only that how many of them become successful.
By the way, our company name is Brainbox Catalyst. So
Yeah.
I really love the explanation. I know it's a very short journey so far, but what are the nice wins that you have already got in this space?
Yeah, so to begin with, one of the best things that I realize on this journey is that I've not met one single person who don't want to be part of it. So everybody wants to contribute, but they are finding either the platform or the way to contribute. And we want to make that simplified. See, we want to do house to house, institution to institution, society to society, organization to organization, government to governments. So that kind of journey. So everybody has the role to play. It is not that only government will do something and that's going to happen. So it starts with individual, then it goes to the family. We don't have a plan B or the planet B, right? We have only one planet, and that is where we are right now. So certain things, it takes very less time to destroy, but it takes thousands of years to basically rebuild. For example, say Amazon forest. To destroy it, do a deforestation, it may take only a few days. But you cannot say, oops, sorry, can you rebuild it? No, rebuilding will take 1,000 years. What we really feel is that our purpose is to basically make words like recycle and reuse obsolete. Because we are so aware about what we are using that it does not need a recycle or a reuse. So that is why from soil back to soil. And it will take time. It is not that it's going to be an overnight journey.
I really love the concept you're putting, which is basically that you don't need to stop something.
No. And also you don't need to go out of your way. It's just that awareness, to basically, yes, planet is mine and I need to take care of my planet. This is the very basic thing that we need to install or embed in our basically education system also and in our day-to-day action also.
You've been now a leader for umpteen number of years. So what do you feel as a leader is something, the key points that should be imbibed in more leaders?
I feel one is empathy, two is team building. You are as good as your team, right? You cannot do everything on your own. And three is basically creating win-win situations for every stakeholder involved. So that intent has to be pure. So I cannot win by making you lose. I can only win when you win. When I have that kind of approach and attitude, then it becomes much more easier and simpler.
And from the art of living itself, like you mentioned like 25 odd years before when you came to this space. How critical is the wellness piece? So like, the mental strength, I will not call it mental wellness also. It's the mental strength you need to be successful in life.
I would put it in a better way. You need a mental equilibrium. Strength is one, but equilibrium is that balance that you get. The sad part is that today, when I did my art of living program, and today I see people around me, it's not part of our education, which should have been. So learning how to deal with my own mind after basically practicing it for 25 years, I feel that it is integral. This is a very good statement here, that the quality of the life that you live is directly proportional to the quality of your mind. So the mind is basically sad. You may have everything, but still you will not be able to enjoy it. So my topmost priority is to basically take care of my mind.
Fantastic, Devang. Thank you so much. It was an absolute
Kaushik.
pleasure having you on the show and look forward to having you again on the show soon.